And for those of you who are new to TikTok, this is going to give you kind of a step by step of kind of how to set it up, what you want to think about before setting up your TikTok. Now, before I even start, okay, first thing you're going to need is this. Okay, I showed it on my Instagram one as well. But for TikTok, especially, because you're going to do a lot of talking videos, you're going to do a lot of you and the camera. Okay, so this ring light is going to be super, super important just to get like clear, crisp quality videos. And to be honest, it just makes you look better. Like, let me just show you, right? The difference between my face now and with that on, it just looks so much better, right? I didn't do anything. There ain't no filter, right? Just that ring light alone. So if you go to Amazon and literally just put in like phone ring light, and you'll find loads of different individual ones, they clip to your phone. So for you making TikToks, it's super, super important. But also, it's just going to boost your content in general. So, when you're posting on your Instagram reels, like if you go out for dinner or maybe, whatever, you're getting pictures in nice places, just having this in your purse at all times. I actually, when I was in London, I had two. Like there was always one in my purse, and then I had one at home. So definitely make sure you get yourself one of these. Now, we're going to go through TikTok. The main purpose of TikTok is to generate yourself leads. Okay. So you're not closing on TikTok, you're not messaging people on TikTok. It is to generate leads. And those leads you then funnel over to your Instagram. Okay. This is also why it's really important that if you, maybe you don't have much of a presence on Instagram yet, definitely watch my Instagram training, but your Instagram is your resume or your CV, like you would say in the UK. So when you get your leads on TikTok and send them over to your Instagram, that's where you're looking to close people, which is why you want to have a nice professional feed. You want to be posting regularly on your stories, you want to have highlight reels, because really through, social media, people need to trust, right? They need to trust you. So your Instagram is going to show, number one, your lifestyle, number two, that you are a real person, because TikTok is even worse for scam profiles than Instagram is. Like if you type, my name on TikTok, Dania especially, right? I don't know if Dania's on here, but she's gone mega viral. She has, like, for the last year and a half. She regularly gets like 20 customers minimum. And I would say that's a bad month for Dania. But if you type her name on TikTok, you're going to see probably like 50 fake profiles. Okay. So it's important to get those leads over to Instagram so that they can see you're a real person. Okay. So I'm just going to talk really quickly about a good social profile. I spoke about this on my Instagram training. Okay, so if you're on my Instagram training, just bear with me and I will go through this really quickly. But the key goals for a good social profile, which of course includes TikTok as well, is people need to know who you are. Okay, now, especially with TikTok, you're going to be telling your story a lot, right? You're going to be talking about yourself. You want to use examples of yourself, right? People need to get to know you. And yes, it's being recorded. So people need to get to know you. Now, I'm going to talk to you in a second about how to structure your TikToks. And one key part of it is going to be telling your story as if it's like a tagline. So, for example, Christina, in the majority of her videos, you're going to hear her say, I went from homeless to six figures in less than 2 years. That's her story in a nutshell, right? But it allows us to start to get to know her, right? Oh my goodness, like she was actually homeless. She's so young. What could have happened? We start to, ask questions about her. But then if you follow her content regularly, you'll find out kind of why that was, what she's done to improve her life, to improve herself. She's really big on mindset. So through your TikToks, when you're talking, people need to get to know you. Okay, so on my recent TikToks, I'm starting to talk about the fact that I'm pregnant. So when I'm talking about copy and paste trading, I think the last one I did, um, Yeah, basically, I hadn't even gotten out of bed yet. I had copied and pasted, I think it was like a Bitcoin trade, whatever it was, made money, and then I got up and did my TikToks. So while I was recording, I talked about the fact that I hadn't got out of bed. I'm 7 months pregnant and I don't even need to leave my house to make money. So again, people are starting to get to know you. They buy into you, not necessarily economy. They don't care what the company is called. They don't really care what the company is. They're buying into you and what you are doing. Okay? So it's really, really important. Number two, people want to be like you. Now, this is especially important for Instagram, but when it comes to TikTok, you talking about your life, you talking about copy and paste trading, you talking about network marketing is what's going to get them interested. Okay, but wanting the lifestyle you have and wanting the skills you have and all those things is what's going to cause people to come to you, to message you. Okay, and lastly, you want to make sure you're intentionally attracting a certain audience. So again, Christina always talks like, and I think in every one of her videos, she also mentions her age, right? Because the fact that she's so successful at only 22 is a big deal, right? So she really wants to attract young people like her, people like who don't want to go into a 9 to 5 job. She talks about the fact, she never finished school. Okay, but she's able to, generate this kind of money like all through social media. So that's really her target audience, right? She's targeting young people who don't actually want to ever work a job, right? For you, that might be totally different, right? Obviously, it's very different for me. I'm like over 10 years older than she is. So I can't be attracting the same kind of people. So I want to attract, when I'm talking, I always mention the fact that I was a teacher, right? I used to be a teacher. I was a professional for over 13 years, had a career, but didn't have time. Now I'm retired. So again, if you were to follow my journey, even on TikTok, I'm talking about this stuff all the time. Okay, so think about who your target audience is and cater your videos for them. Okay, so that's going to be, again, for TikTok or for Instagram. Okay, those are going to be things that you need to think about. Caroline, is it right on TikTok once posted to stay off of TikTok for an hour? Okay, so Caroline, I've seen so many different gurus, I would say. I follow a lot of social, on TikTok, a lot of people who talk about digital marketing, because I think it's just good to research, to look what's out there, especially people who, have hundreds of thousands of followers. And I've seen a mixed bag. I've seen some people say you should stay on TikTok for like 10 to 15 minutes engaging on the For You page. So going onto people's videos, commenting, liking, saving. And again, the reason behind that would be that you're being a good TikTok user, right? Because TikTok wants you on that app as much as possible. So after you post, if you're still on the app and you're actively engaging, apparently that helps push your videos. However, I've also heard on the flip side that if you come off the app, right, TikTok wants to get you back on the app, so it will push your videos. So if you're getting more and more likes, then you're more tempted to come back on the app. So there's no clear-cut answer to that. I've tried both. I personally stay on TikTok for like 10, 15 minutes and I do the engagement part, because my business brain is thinking, like, if I were TikTok, I would be rewarding people who are on the app more. So I would say it's just going to be trial and error, Caroline. Whatever you decide to do, I would say stick with it for 30 days. So, because TikTok is also about your behavior, right? As in, it kind of watches how you are as a user. So, like, let's say for right now, like, I haven't posted a TikTok in a while now. It's been like a month. So when I come back onto TikTok on Friday, because obviously with you guys, I intend to do this 30-day challenge. What I'm probably going to find happen is that the first video I post is probably going to get more views than normal. Okay, this is what happened last time. I took a bit of a break and my first video I posted got over 1,000 views. And on that particular profile, I hadn't got over 1,000 views before. But again, I think it's TikTok's way of being like, okay, well, she's back, so let's make sure she gets good views so that she keeps posting. So it's all about your habits. The more you can engage and use the app itself it rewards you as a user, right? So again, whichever one you want to try, just stick with it for 30 days. Okay. So let's go into this. And again, this one I'm going to just really quickly buzz through because I did speak about it on my Instagram one. So on the left-hand side, I am talking about Instagram for the bit in the yellow. Okay. Now, the reason why I still include Instagram information on our TikTok training is because, like I said at the beginning, Instagram is your CV, right? This is where you're going to close people. This is where people are going to come. This is where you're going to send them your What I Do highlight reel, right? To help close them. So your Instagram needs to be on point. You can't just do TikTok in isolation, right? So if you're deciding to do this 30-day challenge, you can't ignore Instagram too. Okay. So again, on Instagram, in order to build your credibility, build trust, and just build your profile in general, number one, you want 7 to 10 stories per day. Watch my Instagram video for some ideas for that. But again, 7 to 10 stories sounds like a lot, doesn't have to be, right? You can be sharing motivational quotes, you can be sharing motivational videos, your results for the day. Like, it doesn't need to be onerous and a lot of time. Okay, so like Tama's, I was watching Tama's stories today. She had a picture of a cup of coffee. She had the screenshot of the signal that came in. She then went to the gym, her profits afterwards. Like, that would have taken her like 2 minutes, put together, post. Okay, but again, it's all about the credibility. If you're doing that every day and you're showing your results every day, people can't really deny what it is you're doing and that it's working, right? Number 2, 10 posts on your feed per month. So again, if you're relatively new to Instagram, if you haven't been posting, you need to start posting. Okay, this is how people, again, get to know you, especially if they've come from TikTok. They're going to scroll back through your Instagram, especially to determine that you're a real person. So the more frequently you're posting, obviously, the better your profile is going to look. And then lastly, I put for the series 1 reel per day. But for those of us who are taking part in the incentive, 2 reels per day is going to get you qualified for the $500 cash prize, or the 3 $500 cash prizes. Okay, so I would say for the next 30 days, do 2 reels per day. Now, TikTok, very, very simple for TikTok. You can post stories on TikTok. You can go live on TikTok to try and help boost your followers. But TikTok really is very simple. You just want to post 3 times a day, right? You just want to post 3 times a day. And you want to try, again, TikTok likes, predictable users and frequent users. So I would say just schedule it into your day, sometime in the morning, sometime in the afternoon, sometime at night. So when I was teaching, I would always post my TikTok on the commute into work. So it was kind of always between like 7:30 in the morning that I was posting my first TikTok. Then my second TikTok, I would always post at lunchtime. So again, I was posting between 12 and 1. And then when I got home from work, I would make sure if I didn't have one ready, I'd have to make one. And then I'd usually post around like 8 p.m. Because again, I'm thinking if I'm in the UK at that time, 8 p.m. or anywhere in the world, really, right? People should be done work, home from work, maybe chilling on their couch. And that's when they're scrolling through TikTok, right? So again, whatever works for your schedule. But if you make it a habit and you're posting 3 a day, if you're doing it at a similar time every single day, it's going to become, right? It's going to become a habit for you. Okay. And again, you want to be consistently branding yourself. This is, again, more to do with Instagram, but even on TikTok, you're always building up yourself, right? You're always building, who you are. And again, it's, the more you talk about your story, right, the more you've branded yourself on TikTok. And then again, just be intentional, right? And be intentional about your content. Like if you're out and about at a nice restaurant and you've taken a trade that day that's made you money, then like get out your phone, get out your ring light, right? And maybe talk about, I received this signal while I was at dinner, and during dinner, this is what I made. And like some people will do, like, maybe I've seen Zulema do this before in her stories. She'll put like her food bill, like how much her meal cost, but then a screenshot of her trading profits for the day. Zulema, you were doing that a lot previously, or like maybe a household bill. I think you'd put your like I don't know, electricity, or maybe your like Netflix, your different little bills that you have during the month, and then like a day's worth of trading and how it can help cover your bills, right? So you just want to get creative. And anywhere you go is an opportunity for you to be making TikToks, right? Especially when it comes to copy and paste trading, because we can do that from anywhere, right? Okay, so let's get into, right, setting up your TikTok. Okay, so first things first, okay, I've got lots of different examples on there. The examples I've chosen are all people who have gone mega, mega viral, okay, and who regularly get signups from TikTok. If you notice this week, if you've seen the leaderboard, Sakina, she is top of the leaderboard, just got back from Dubai. She's an icon 25 and she still recruits like a beast. Okay. So it doesn't matter what rank you are. Like as you move up the ranks, if you have TikTok in your back pocket where you can be like, okay, I need to get back in the trenches. I need to up my personals. If you've had a good TikTok and you've gone viral multiple times and you've built up your followers, you basically have an endless tap of prospects, like an endless tap. And there's times where I know, like, let's say Bells, he hasn't recruited heavily in a long time because he doesn't need to, right? He doesn't have the time to take on someone to mentor. So once you get to that level, you can take breaks. But for those of us who aren't at that level yet, like we cannot afford to be taking breaks. Like, especially if you're 1,500, 3K, 5K, even me, icon, like you hit icon, it's actually a very precarious position because there's no one else in your team who's making as much money as you. So there's nobody else who kind of needs it as much as you. So you still need to, for me, like I need to be able to have this in my back pocket. Okay. So you've got Christina there and you've got Sammy, you've got Sakina, and you've got Bells. I would say definitely take a screenshot of this so you can follow all of them straight after this call, but make sure you follow the real one, not the fake ones, because there's so many fake ones. Okay, so you want to have it like exactly how they have it there, their what's it called, handles. Okay, so first thing first, you want to have a clear photo. Okay, so again, with Bells, Sammy, and Sakina, you can see they have a plain white background. They're the focus. Okay, Sakina and Bells looks very kind of professional. They're smiling. Okay, Christina and hers, she's got Dubai in the background laughing, but again, she's the focus. Okay, so very clear photo of yourself. Your name needs to be somewhere. Okay, so Premium Bells, obviously his handle is Premium Bells because that's also what it is on Instagram. If your Instagram handle is available, I would say definitely use your Instagram handle. Okay, so when people do come over to Instagram, it's the exact same. Okay, then your tagline. Okay, so for example, well, at the top, you can see like Christina's is literally just Christina. Okay, and her handle, when I say handle, I mean the one that's underneath. So at it's Christina Becker. Okay, that's the one you want to have that's the same as your Instagram. Bells' tagline, you can see at the top, 6-figure mentor. Sammy's is just her Instagram. And then Sakina is young and rich. Okay, so you decide. All of those are very, very different. So you decide what you want yours to be. Okay, in your bio. Now, your TikTok bio is a lot more restrictive than an Instagram bio. Like you don't have a lot of space to say much. Okay, so what all of these have in common, okay, is that their Instagram is linked within their bio. Okay, Sammy actually has her Instagram handle in her bio. Okay, you don't have to have that. Okay, but the Instagram is linked. You can see underneath with Sakina, with Bells, with Christina's, Instagram is down there at the bottom. So when people want to message you, they just have to click it and it'll take it straight to your Instagram profile. Okay, but with somewhere within that profile, you either want like your goal or what makes you qualified. Like why would people message you? Like what makes you the person they should trust to help them make money? Okay, so for example, Bells says helping 100 people become millionaires. Okay, Christina's, she helps make you money on autopilot. Okay, Sammy, let's connect and help you achieve your goals. Okay, now you can also put your goals. So I mean, Sakina's is young millionaire. I guess in Nara, she is a millionaire. Okay, in Nara, she is a millionaire. But you can see what she's going to talk about, how to get rich and become wealthy in your 20s. Okay, so again, there's no kind of real set one with TikTok. It's a mixture of, you can put your goals, or you can put what makes you qualified for it, or just what you're going to do to help, right? And then lastly, the call to action. Okay, so again, for all of them, for the most part, it's go to Instagram, but Sammy also has her link tree there as well. So you could, in your link tree, you might have directly to your WhatsApp. I know in Nigeria, they drive people to their WhatsApp a lot. So in your link tree, you could have your WhatsApp link that's going to send them straight to you. You could have your Instagram link. You could have like maybe your what I do on your link tree. So my link tree, I actually have a full business overview. I have a few different bits on there. So yeah, it's entirely up to you how you want to do that. Okay. So that is your profile. Things to not do. Okay. And this is basically the same as Instagram. Don't have a lot of underscores. Don't have loads of numbers in your profile name. Okay. Never follow more people that are following you. Okay. Never. And it's hard in the beginning, especially if you're starting a brand new profile. So give yourself a bit of grace until you get to maybe like 100 followers, because in the beginning, you're going to start to follow people, but nobody's going to start following you yet. Okay. So in the beginning, if you're setting up a brand new one, that's a bit different. But once you become a bit more established, okay, never follow more people than are following you. Don't put any blurred or poor quality videos. This is where the ring light comes in handy. Okay. And Christina is very, very adamant about this. Even though TikTok doesn't care as much about what you look like. You don't need to, do your, for the ladies, like your hair doesn't need to be like perfect. You don't need to have your makeup done. But still have the ring light because it's all about the quality of the video. Like one of my more popular videos, or one that I guess that got more views than some of the others, because I've never went viral. My highest view video was only about 9,000 views, but that did get me quite a few signups. But yeah, one of my more popular videos, I was actually lying in bed with a migraine, and I had like a migraine patch on my head, and I was in my pajamas, but I recorded the video. But honestly, I made it relevant to trading. So whatever I said, I talked about copy and paste trading, but about the fact that I was sick with a migraine, but I was still able to make money from my phone. And that was the whole TikTok. Lastly, don't create your account until you're ready to start posting that day. Okay. Reason being, a day or date, like the day after. So for example, if you're going to come onto our call tomorrow where we bulk make some TikToks, you may want to set up your TikTok profile before that call. Then while we're on the call, you'll be able to bulk make to start posting for Friday. Okay, but you don't want to make it and then wait 1 week, 2 weeks, start interacting, but you not necessarily posting anything. Reason being is because TikTok favors new content creators. Okay, so if you create your profile and automatically you're starting to post 3 times a day and you're doing that consecutively day after day after day, then you have a lot higher chance of going viral quicker. So Sammy is a really good example of this. I think when she first started her TikTok, it was only in her 3rd week she went viral. And when I say viral, I mean one of her videos got like over 2 million views. So she went mega viral. It took her 2 days. Tama, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like when that happened, she was like a full 2 days where she didn't sleep and she was just responding to DMs, because she got hundreds, if not thousands, of messages on Instagram. So you can imagine, like in her beginning period, like she hopped, skipped, and jumped through the ranks because she literally personally signed up so many people from that one video. Okay. But she was, again, it was only in her 3rd week. So you might be the person that you get lucky and within a couple of weeks of you doing your TikTok, you go viral, right? Now, it's not going to happen like that for everyone. Okay. I think Bells was consistent for like 2.5 months before he went viral. But again, once he did go viral and got like a couple 100,000 views, it's a lot easier to go viral again. So if you go viral, just keep posting. Okay. Don't think, okay, I've made it. I've got one viral video. I'm going to stop posting on TikTok. Keep posting so they see that you're still going to be a serious user, and then you'll continue to go viral. So Bells has multiple videos now that have gotten over 100,000 views. And then even when he posts, like, I don't know, just regularly, you know, if you scroll through his TikTok, 10K views here, 20K here, 50K here, 75K here. And then, of course, ones that are over 100,000. Okay. So what did Tay message? Just see what you said. Yeah. It took her 2 weeks to clear her messages, and Josh and someone else helping her. Yeah. So that's, you know, that's the power. If you go viral, you know, you can really rake in those signups. Okay. Now, before you start posting, okay, so have a think about what your profile is going to be, what you want your handle to be. Okay. Get that set up on the day you're ready to start recording videos. So hopefully for a lot of you, that's going to be tomorrow, because we're going to have our bulk making session tomorrow night. But before you start posting, okay, here is a checklist that I want you to follow. Okay, number one, if you are pretty new to TikTok, and when I say new, I mean you've never actually created a video or posted, or maybe you've never used the app at all. Like when we first started TikTok about 1.5 years ago, I'd never actually had a TikTok profile. So I didn't know how TikTok worked. But even once I got on it and tried to familiarize myself with it, I wasn't posting. I was just like looking through other people's videos. So if you're someone who, I know a lot of people have created TikTok profiles because they see maybe viral videos that get reshared on Instagram, so they go over to TikTok, but you've just been a TikTok browser. You've never actually posted anything. I want you to watch the social media tutorials on the Mastermind website. So there is a section specifically for TikTok that's going to show you things like how to edit a video, how to add images to your video. Okay, other things that you want to do, how to duplicate someone else's video. So there's some real basic stuff showing you how to set it up properly and basically what to do, right? So again, we're on a time crunch. We're starting this on Friday. So if you've not used it before, I would definitely say go straight to that, and it's going to teach you so you're not faffing around and struggling, you know, trying to do all this stuff on your own, and figure it out for yourself when you first download the app. Okay. Number 2, choose an aesthetic and stick with it. Now, I'm going to share my screen in a second and actually go through someone's TikTok, Christina's TikTok probably, and show you what I mean by aesthetic. But basically, I want you to pick when you post your first video or start editing your first video, whatever font you choose for your captions, stick with that font. Right? You don't want to have like loads of different fonts on it. It just looks, not that there's anything like horribly wrong with it. It's not like you're not going to go viral because you've used a different font, but it's more about when people then go onto your TikTok after you've been posting for a long time, it just shows more professionalism. It shows like intention behind your content because you've got the same font, you've got the same like label. So when you actually post a video, you can have like it's almost like a heading on your videos. And on TikTok, there's a variety of different ones to choose from, but you don't want to choose a different one every time, because then when you actually like look at your feed, it's just going to look messy, right? It's going to look all over the place. And again, I'll show you in a second what I mean by that. Decide on your story. Okay. And I put top tip from Christina. And this has come directly from Christina in a few of her trainings that she did for our team when she was in London. But she said, your story needs to become a catchphrase. And not catchphrase because catchphrases are whatever, they can be a bit cheesy, but it makes you memorable. And also it tells your story in a very short space of time. So in every single one of your videos, if you're telling your story as a catchphrase, number one, people get to know you in every single video, but you're not wasting time, right? You're not going to sit there and tell your full story in every single TikTok video. Otherwise, nobody's going to actually watch your videos past the story. Okay, so it needs to be short. And again, hers is, she'll say, hi, my name is Christina. I'm 22 years old. I think she's 22 now. Yeah, last year, obviously 21. But hi, my name is Christina. I'm 22 years old and I went from homeless to six figures in 2 years, and this is how I did it. And she'll go through if it's copy paste trading or affiliate marketing or whatever it is she's going to talk about. So it takes her no more than 5 seconds to tell her story. Okay, so you need to decide again what makes you unique. Okay, so with mine, I try and alliteration. I use alliteration because, of course, I'm a teacher, so English teacher. So I say in most of mine, I'm a teacher, turned trader, turned network marketer, turned retired at the age of 35, and da 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 da. Right. So it's for me, it's the T's, the alliteration, but you guys decide, right? Whatever your story is going to be. Every video you create. Now I've put every because you want to try and keep this format, but there's certainly going to be other people's videos that you duplicate that don't follow this format. But again, this is what Christina does. So every one of her videos starts off with a hook. The hook, this is what grabs people's attention. So with the hook, you want to say something that's either shocking, maybe something that's intentionally provocative, or something that's just generally like people are going to want. So for example, you might start off with saying something like, if you're not making at least $100 a day from your phone, you cannot afford to be skipping past this video. Or I think one that Nicola did that went super viral, and I know Tama has duplicated this one, but she started off with like, I'm exposing all of them. And it's like, again, it's just a bit like, oh, well, what's she going to expose? So something that intentionally will get some sort of reaction for people, because with TikTok, if you don't grab someone's attention in literally the first like 3 seconds, they're scrolling past your video. Okay. On the For You page, if you've been on TikTok, you scroll so quickly. And if honestly, if you don't capture someone in those first 2-3 seconds, they're gone. Okay. So the hook is super, super important. And you don't want to be slow. Like in the hook, if you say, hey, my name is so-and-so, and I'm here to talk about whatever, nobody's watching that. Okay, so you start with a hook, then you tell your story. Okay, your hook should only be like 5 seconds. Your story is going to be like 5 seconds. And then the bulk of your video is the value. And the value is where you're explaining something to do with our company. Right? It might be copy paste trading and you use an example from DeFiverse, or you use an example from Plutos or from Solex, right? Whatever the case may be, you might explain then how to copy and paste a trade, right? So you might have a screenshot of MetaTrader 4 or MetaTrader 5. You just copy and paste the numbers and then show a result. So you're giving them value and educating them on something, right? You might do, if you're really big into Monara, okay, you might talk about the Monara tool and do a little tutorial. Okay, this is where we enter. This is our stop loss. This take profit. We put it in MetaTrader 5. We let it run. Okay, whatever the case may be. If you're talking about compound trading, break down examples. Use a green screen and show like $500 into $70,000 in a year at compounding 2% per day. Whatever the case may be. Okay, so the bulk of your video is going to be that value section. And then lastly is your close. So your close is, and Christina always says, if you understand the power of what I've just shown you, and even that is almost like reverse psychology, because it's kind of like, well, basically, if I don't want to make money, I don't know, just the way that she says it. Sorry, I'm really hot, guys. I'm sweater. But yeah, so she always says, if you understand the power of what I've just showed you, DM me copy trading on Instagram, or if she's doing it on her Instagram, whatever. So you give them a call to action. You want them to DM you. And it's easiest to just tell them what to DM you. So you don't really leave them much choice. So if you tell them DM me copy trading, then that's what they're going to DM you. DM me Monara, DM me whatever. It also allows you to see which of your videos is getting you traction, especially if you've gone viral a few times, right? So with Bells, when he was like very, very active, it would allow him to track, like, let's say a video that went viral like 3 weeks ago, he'd still be getting DMs from it, but he knows which one it is because he has certain taglines, right? Or certain things he told them to DM him. Okay, so that's the actual step-by-step for your video. Okay, if that sounds like a lot, again, I'll go through examples tomorrow when we bulk make together as well. Like I'll actually record one while we're on Zoom so you can see the process of how I do it. Lastly, create a bulk making schedule. Okay. And this is the purpose of tomorrow as well. If you can get in the habit of just bulk making once a week, then it's going to make your life so much easier, right? Will you be able to bulk make every single one for the entire week? Probably not. But even if you get a good like 12 to 15 bulked up, then during the week, as you're getting results, you can be creating like maybe one or two, one a day, just to add to your drafts. Okay. So decide which day that's going to be for you. Everybody is going to be different. All of our work schedules, our lives are different. Okay. But I would say pick a 2 to 3 hour window where you know every single week you are free at that time. So for some people, that might be, maybe it's a Saturday morning. That's where you get time to yourself. So you just want to get up in the morning and get it over with. Okay. It might be a Sunday. It might be whatever. Okay. Your goal is to, again, bulk make as much as possible. So if we're posting 3 times a day, okay, 7 days a week, that means we need 21 TikToks per week. Okay, so in that bulk making, you want to bulk make as many of those as possible, especially if you have a job. Guys, it's so hard in the week, if you've worked all day, to come home and then be stressing to try and make TikToks if you don't have any ready, right? I know that from experience. Okay, when I was teaching, I used to find it was you get home and then it's like a chore because you're like, oh shit, I haven't posted my TikTok for today. I got to make one first. What am I going to make? So if you bulk, it makes it so much easier. And then during the week, while you're posting and you're being a good TikTok user, because again, you want to be on the app. Okay, TikTok is going to reward you if you're on the app and engaging. So while you're going through, save up viral videos, okay, or videos that are performing well. And when I say save up, I mean, well, you can click the save button, but I download videos that I'm going to duplicate. So if I'm going to duplicate maybe some of Nicola's videos or Tama's or Christina's or Belle's or whoever, there's a button where you can download that. So when it comes time to you duplicating it, right, you can have them up on one screen and you can literally then just copy them word for word. Okay. And again, tomorrow I'll show you, how I do that. I know Tama uses her laptop. So she'll have videos that are saved up on her laptop while she's then, of course, recording on her phone. So you'll play basically 10, 15 seconds of the person's video you want to duplicate, pause, then come over and literally just repeat it. Okay. So don't feel bad, right? Don't feel bad about stealing other people's videos. Like, don't feel bad about duplicating it. Okay. We all do it to each other. And obviously you just, put your own spin on it. So Christina, for example, like, she's North American. She can be a bit crass. She swears. But in the UK, like, people are super prudish. So if you're trying to be exactly like Christina, it might not necessarily work if you're in the UK, right? So this should become a weekly habit. Okay, one of your DMOs. So every single day, just spend a bit of time on TikTok saving up videos. Don't just scroll mindlessly because then you're wasting your time. Scroll with intent. Okay. So what's the posting going to look like? Okay, so top tips for posting. So number one, what to post. Now, this part's really important because I have seen people, okay, in our team who have been very consistent in posting. They're posting multiple times a day, but what they're posting is not effective. Okay, you want at least 2 talking videos per day. Okay, the talking videos is what is going to get you the DMs. Okay, and when I say talking, I mean like literally like talking about our product, talking to the camera. People want to hear your voice. It is very, very unlikely that you are going to get DMs from a video where you don't speak. The only person I have seen do that is Sakina. And it was because she used a kind of funny trending audio, specifically that was going crazy viral in Nigeria. And that got her thousands of DMs. And I'll find the example because it's really good. It's simple. It was like literally a 7-second video. and she went crazy, crazy viral. Okay. But for most of us, that's not going to be the case. Now, am I saying don't do them? No, because sometimes if you're using a good trending audio, one that's been trending in the last week, that's getting loads of views for other people, it can be good to post just to get views and just to maybe gain some followers. But also, it's obviously easier for you to post these ones. Okay, so but only let yourself do that like once a day. Okay, if you have 3 videos a day where I don't hear your followers don't hear your voice, or on the For You page, if people don't hear your voice, they're not DMing you. Okay. So the biggest kind of mistake I see some people making on TikTok is they're posting things like the flyer for our team training. People don't care about that. They don't know who the people are on that flyer. It means nothing to them. So if you're not actually talking and then explaining the flyer, then there's literally no point in posting it. Okay. Also with things like maybe our team Zooms, that's good for your Instagram stories for people to see, like, what it is that you're doing. But if you just post you take a little screenshot of our training right now and put it on TikTok, again, there's no point. Nobody cares. Nobody knows what you're doing. They're not going to take time to try and like read the screen and figure it out. So it's a waste of a post. Okay. It's a waste of a post. Do we choose business TikTok or private one? Again, there's debates to both sides of that. I think the private one, because that's just a normal content creator account. Some people do have a business one though. So that's a good question. And I personally just have a content creator one. And I think Christina's is also just a content creator one. So it's not necessarily private. It's just, it's an individual. But you can do it as a business. Like there isn't any kind of restrictions on that. And it's not really going to make all that much of a difference in terms of you going viral. Okay. Right. So like I said, so talking videos is the one that give the value. The more value you give, the more messages you're going to get and more followers you gain. So again, I found, even though I've never gone viral, my videos that have gotten me the most messages is where I'm quote unquote teaching, right? Sometimes I can't help it. I'm a teacher, right? But I've gotten, multiple DMs that mention how easy it is to or what am I trying to say here? How my videos were easy to break down trading. So for example, if I really took time to explain, this is what a signal is. This is how you utilize a signal. So I always do a 3-step formula. Number 1, you need to know what pair are you trading. Number 2, are you buying or are you selling? And I'll explain a buy means it's going to go up, sell means it's going to go down. And then number 3, when are you going to enter and when are you going to exit the market? And then I'll briefly explain a stop loss, take profit, for example. Then show how to do that on MetaTrader 5. Okay. And I've gotten multiple DMs where people have actually said to me like, oh, I've seen so many, this is when we were doing Monara a lot. I've seen so many people posting about Monara, but I messaged you because it was the easiest for me to follow or something like that. The more value, if they feel like they've learned something from your TikTok, the more likely they are that they're going to message you. Okay. So again, it's just about, TikToks don't have to be hard. You just have to think like, okay, in making this TikTok, what do I want that follower, that person who's come across my video, what do I want them to take away from this? Okay, there needs to be some sort of message that you're giving them. And it could be how easy it is to copy and paste a trade. It could be how easy it is to take trade ideas from Monara. It could be the freedom they get from network marketing. Whatever the message is, there needs to be some sort of message. Okay. Now, there's some topics I put on the screen that you can, again, go ahead and screenshot. These are different things that you can talk about on tomorrow's one. Again, Bells gave us a little template of different topics to batch make, but you basically just want to either, you've got compound trading, copy and paste trading, and just any of our products. Okay. If you use Monara should be on your in your TikToks every single day. If you're just using Solex, if you're using D5ers, Plutos, our live sessions, whatever the case may be, the emphasis is on the product that the company provides. You've got exclusive access to these products and you can teach them how to utilize them. I personally, my approach for the next 30 days is going to be D5ers. The reason being is that everyone is talking about crypto right now. Especially since Trump got elected, right? We own, like, the day Trump got elected, Bitcoin went from like 68,000 and it just hit 94,000 today, an all-time high. So if you are mentioning crypto, that's going to categorize your video. So if people are searching up crypto, the bigger chance they are of coming to your videos. So that's going to be my personal approach the next 30 days is I'm going to talk about D5ers every single day. I'm going to talk about crypto in my videos every single day and the results I get from trading crypto. Okay. But if you don't have D5ers, then just do the product that makes you money, right? I know the majority of our team uses Plutos. So if you're going to focus on Plutos, then focus on Plutos. Okay. Whatever the case may be. Okay. But also for those of us building the business, I'd also be talking about, don't be shy about talking about network marketing. Okay. Some people, it's almost like they're in the closet about network marketing because they're afraid to be criticized or they're afraid for people to say, oh, that's one of them pyramid scheme things. You're going to get that in your comments all the time, right? Pyramid scheme, scam, this, that, the other. I love creating videos, responding to those people to basically just point out how stupid they are. But also, just to break down what affiliate marketing is, right? Christina has a few really good videos on that. I've duplicated quite a few and I plan to continue doing the same. Okay. So if you're someone who's if you're an influencer 1500, if you're like a Prodigy 3K, even an influencer 500, right? An extra $500 a month to any household makes a big friggin' difference, right? So if you can tell people, I have the blueprint to show you how to make an extra $500 a month in the next 2 weeks or whatever, give a time frame, that's going to be something that hooks people in. Okay. So let's keep going. So checklist for what to have. Again, I would maybe take a screenshot of this because we are very, very close. Oh my God, we only have 7 minutes left. And I haven't even, okay, let me go real quick because I wanted to scroll through Christina's page as well before we go. So this might run like 5 minutes over. So checklist, you must have captions. Must. Do not post a video without captions. Okay. Captions just help people understand what you're saying, but also people are more likely to stay on your video if they're reading as it goes along. Okay. But also for specialized language that we use, like MetaTrader 5, like let's say Solex, D5ers, Plutos, whatever, with captions, you have the ability to go in and correct the spelling. So if people are going to go search it up, they'll know it's a real thing. Okay. Even economy. I always try and make sure I don't mention economy a lot, actually, to be fair. But if I were going to, I'd want to make sure I use the captions to change it to EA economy. Okay. So you must have captions. In capital letters, I put no dead time. And we're going to go through this tomorrow as well, where we're going to show you how to edit out any and all pauses. So basically, when you're speaking, right? I mean, I just purposely paused there. But in between my last word finishing and my next word starting, you want to edit out that time in between, even if it's literally only like 0.04 seconds. And again, Christina showed the effect of this in one of Chris's videos, like quite a while ago. But basically, he sent her a video that was like, I don't know, like a minute and 55 seconds long, whatever it was. Just by cutting out the dead time, she cut like 20 seconds off that video. We know that this generation don't have the attention span, right? People aren't going to sit and watch a 5-minute long video from beginning to end unless you're the most fucking captivating person in the entire world, right? It's just not going to happen. So you want to cut out any unnecessary time. The shorter your videos are with a lot of impact though, right? We don't want to compromise on the value that we're giving, but we can help this out by cutting out all of this dead time. So again, on tomorrow's one, I'm going to show exactly how I do that and how Christina does that. Number 2, has to have a hook. 100% has to have a hook and your story in the first 10 seconds. Not always your story. Okay. You'll see a lot of people have gone viral without it, but it 100% needs a hook. Okay. Because if you don't hook people in the first 2-3 seconds, they're scrolling past. Always record and edit in TikTok. Okay. I know a lot of people, they'll record like in something else where they can use a filter, or there was a big thing where people were recording in CapCut. Again, you can do these things, and if you're consistent, you still can go viral. But Christina, again, she's I just duplicate whatever she does because she is the most successful person on TikTok and on Instagram when it comes to recruiting for our company. And she says to record in TikTok, so I record in TikTok. But again, her reasoning behind it makes perfect sense, right? TikTok rewards good users. If you are recording in their app, that means you're using their app, you're on their app for a long period of time. So you're recording in their app, you're editing by using their software, right? You're using their app. And you want to then, this goes into the second one. When you're doing that, it allows you to utilize their features. So be using green screen. When you record, be using their stickers, using things like voiceovers. Okay, so you're being a good user, right? If you do everything outside of the app, then you just put it into TikTok and post it, well, then you might only be on their app for like 5 minutes and post a video and leave. That's not a good user. They want you on that app as much as possible. So I would definitely suggest always record in TikTok and then utilize their features intentionally, right? Use the green screen as much as possible. Use voiceovers as much as possible. Add images as much as possible. Okay. And at the end, always end with a call to action. Okay. So like I said before, DM me copy or DM me Manara. And then I always say my Instagram as well, because again, there's a lot of scammers. Okay. Scammers on Instagram. There's scammers on TikTok. So oh gosh, there it goes. So you want people to know your correct Instagram. Okay, so I would say DM me copy on Instagram at the Shannon Hughes. And then obviously in my captions, I will make sure, because mine, it always spaces it out, right? Because Shannon Hughes is obviously a name. So it'll put, capital S Shannon space capital H. So I'll go in and edit my caption so that it looks exactly like my Instagram. It's the Shannon Hughes, all one, no capitals. That's my handle. Okay. And again, TikTok is here to generate leads. IG closes them. Okay. So you are sending people to your Instagram. Reason being, if you've ever had DMs and stuff on TikTok, it's messy. There's no way to organize it. And if you go viral and you get hundreds, if not thousands, you wouldn't be able to do it in TikTok physically, right? Because on Instagram, you can categorize. You've got your primary, you've got your general. So whenever requests are coming in, I put all of my prospects in general. So that way, if I'm following up, I've got all my prospects in one place. If you do it on TikTok, it's so messy. And TikTok, if some people have privacy settings, you need to add them before you can message them back. And it's just a giant pain in the ass. I'm not going to lie to you. Okay. Another one, use your hands. Okay. Christina is famous for this. Okay. Her hands are always, and because of that, my hands are always everywhere, when it comes to TikTok, or have things in your hands. Okay. So I'm going to show you we're going to go through her TikTok in a second, and we're just going to take 5 minutes to go through it. But her ones that have gone really, really viral, she tends to be eating. So she's got one with a big papaya, she's literally just scooping, out of a papaya and eating it all while talking. She's got another one, bowl of soup, one with this massive mug. And again, I don't know what it is, but just people's eyes get drawn to it. If you're just standing there like this and you're not moving and you're, not really much going on, there's nothing else to grab people's attention. Right. But if you're talking with your hands, you're showing that you're personable, right? Maybe you've got something in your hand, and people these days, they can't focus very much on things. So if you're giving their brain other things to focus on, they tend to stick with your video longer. Okay. Now, lastly, I put hashtags or no hashtags. Okay. And I've just put the jury's out on this one. Okay. Because again, if you watch loads of different social media gurus, they're all going to say different things. Christina and Belle's never used hashtags. Like Christina does not use hashtags on any of her things. Belle's then did the same, right? He didn't use any hashtags. Now, her reasoning behind it is that if you start using hashtags, so let's say you put like Forex, crypto, whatever, it niches you down. So you're only going to come up for people who are looking at those hashtags. Whereas if you don't put hashtags and you go on the For You page, you can go to anyone, right? And the thing is, like trading and making money from our phones can be for anyone. It doesn't matter if somebody already knows about Forex or already knows about crypto. Like you want to come across as many people as possible. So that's her reasoning for not putting hashtags. However, I know Sammy, and Sammy has also gone very viral. She's, done very, very well on TikTok. She talks about putting loads of different hashtags. So again, it's entirely up to you what you want to do. But again, whatever you decide, just stick with it. Okay. Again, the more consistent you are, then TikTok knows your habits and it can kind of like figure you out. Okay. So I'm just going to very quickly, we're not going to go through that right now. The what I do. Okay. Actually, let's talk about this super quick. The what I do highlight reel on Instagram is super, super important. Before you launch your TikTok, if you're going to do it on Friday, for example, you need to do your what I do video. Okay. So if you come over to Christina's, okay, she's got two, my Join My Team or What I Do, have a look at it. You can look at Belle's, look at Tama's. Tama has a really good one as well. It's basically just a mini company overview. Doesn't need to be long, like 4 or 5 minutes tops. And you're just talking about the product and how to get involved. So you might quickly explain Monara, you'll explain Solex, you might explain DeFiverse, and then just explain the packages. So how would you get involved? You can either choose the Elite Pack. This is how much it costs. This is what you're going to get access to. Or you can choose the Gold Pack. This is how much it costs. This is what you're going to get access to. Now, for those of us in UK, Europe, Canada, like North America now, we can't use automation. So for us, that makes it easier. You don't talk about Elite Pro and you don't talk about Gold Pack Pro because we can't use those anymore. So it's just a simple choice, Elite Pack or Gold Pack Pro. So I actually need to record. I've been meaning to record a new one for ages, but now I'm going to have to because I need it for Friday. So just take a look, okay, at other people's and then go ahead and make your own. Okay. So let me quickly share my screen. I'm sorry, guys, we're running over, but let's just 5 more minutes so we can go through Christina's TikTok together and then we will finish. So let me just, sorry, I didn't join on my phone. Give me a second here. There it is.
Recording in progress.
Okay, perfect. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Oh, come on, start broadcast. There we go. Okay, cool. So TikTok. Been able to generate this kind of income. Sorry, guys. I was critiquing my own profile. Okay. So let me just come up here and search Christina first. It's Christina. There she is. Oh, I don't want to message her. There we go. Okay. So first things first, okay, when I was speaking about aesthetics, okay, if you look through hers, okay, you can see the same, what do you call that? Like a heading, right? So where it says Nebraska, and she's obviously got the flag, the other one trading or network marketing. So if you scroll through, she's been using that one consistently since she started posting, ever since I started looking at her her TikTok a year and a half ago. And again, is it going to make or break your TikTok if you don't know? Right? But it just makes it a bit more aesthetically pleasing. Okay, a bit more aesthetically pleasing. Okay, now let me just quickly go through some of her talking videos. Okay, so let's do, okay, this one.
I went from homeless to 6 figures in under 2 years, and I teach beginners how to do the exact same thing.
Okay, so her story there was actually her hook. Okay, and again, I went from homeless to 6 figures in 2 years. Now I teach people how to do the exact same thing. But this is also one where, again, something with her hands. So this is the one with the papaya, right? So she's just literally scooping a papaya. She's using a green screen. So she's being a good TikTok user. She's got her green screen. And now she obviously showed her results, and she's going to go on to explain her results. But what I also want you to notice in the caption, okay, this is something actually I didn't talk about. At the bottom, you can say, she says her only IG, she gives her handle, DM me copy trading. Okay, her captions are very, very simple. It's the call to action just repeated. So in case people didn't watch to the end of the video, in the caption, it tells them what to do. Okay, so let's look at another one. Oh, this one got 13.
If you're not making more than 5K a month, you definitely should not be scrolling past this video. It's not even 8:30 a.m. I just...
Okay, so that's her hook. Obviously, if you're not making at least 5K a month, but now part of her hook, I just woke up and I've already made over $1,000.
woke up and I've made over $1,000 already. I'm about to give you some solid gems to help you double, if not triple, your income. What I would do if I was you is like and favorite this video so you can come back and reference it later. As many of you know, everything is increasing.
Okay, so we're not gonna watch that whole thing. Okay, but again, very clear hook in there. Okay, her results, and then at the bottom you can see again, only IG, it's Katrina Becker, DM me Manara. Okay, so there's always that call to action. And hopefully that one, again, you noticed how she used her hands. Okay, let's look at, I don't know, this.
Copy trading is a scam. Copy trading is supposedly these experts that make 6 and 7.
So obviously the hook, copy trading is a scam, right? Just that word scam, you know, a little bit provocative, and people then want to hear what she has to say.
Figures in the industry that send us their trade ideas, and all we have to do is copy and paste them. It's so crazy because it made me $2,400 in the last 2 days. I talk about this all the time on my page because I make a lot of money off of it, and I help thousands of people also make a lot of money off of it. I have a lot of time freedom.
Okay, so again, we're not going to watch the whole thing, but some things that she does, again, consistently in all her videos, she's doing something with her hands, whether it's eating, this time she's putting on makeup, right? And you see a lot of TikTok gurus, you know, so talk about this all the time, like to be doing something. So yeah, you'll see a lot of her videos. She does her makeup, or she's doing her hair, or she's eating something, she's drinking something. Okay, but again, hook was there in the beginning. She's being a good TikTok user by using the green screen. Okay, but now she's going to go into explain what copy trading exactly is. And again, at the bottom, you've got only IG, it's Christina Becker, DM me copy trading. With TikTok, you don't need to come up with like deeply profound captions, you know, like you would if it was your Instagram feed. Okay, it's not necessary. Let's just look at a couple more. Where's one of my favorite ones is where she's eating like shrimp. Okay, this one got 87K views. Let's look at that one.
I'm going to show you an online income that'll help you generate an extra $100 a day just for trading 15 minutes a day. That's an extra.
Okay, so there's the hook, right? I'm going to show you how you can make $100 a day for just 15 minutes a day.
Extra $500 a week, an extra $2,000 a month, and an extra $24,000 a year. So trust me when I say you definitely want to hear this. I just want you to think about it for a minute because that might be life-changing money for you. That can help pay for your phone bill, your car, your groceries, your rent, literally.
Now, what Christina does a lot as well is she tells people what's in it for them, right? So she'll break down a lot, like how much, you know, $50 a day. Some people might think, oh, well, that's not a lot. But if you then break down, well, $50 a day is $250 a week, which is actually an extra $1,000 per month. So she breaks down those examples a lot, but also explains how it can help them. So she talks about time freedom a lot, especially when she's talking about network marketing, the fact that she doesn't have a job, that she's not worked a job, all of these kind of things. But again, at the bottom, it's Christina Becker, DM me copy trading. And did you guys notice when the mug came out? Okay, the mug came out. She always has stuff in her hands. Okay, so guys, I'm not going to go through, but I would say study Christina, you know, when it comes to TikTok and when it comes to Instagram. Okay, so that's what her profile looks like, but also start following. And what I'll do is in our affiliate group chat, but also on the call tomorrow, because we're not all in the same group chat, I will create a list of kind of like top 10, you know, leaders to follow and duplicate. You know, Christina is just one of them. Nicola, she's someone in the UK. So if you're in the UK, she's a really good person to follow because obviously, you know, a lot of the stuff she says resonates, you know, with British people. So she would be a good one. There's so many in our team. Okay, so I'll make sure to get a list together. So guys, I'm going to end there. Are there any questions before we finish up? And I will post the recording as soon as it's ready. So I'm going to stop the recording here, but if you do have any questions, please pop them in the chat box now before we finish.